And few years later, I actually found my real dream. I still clearly remember that evening. I was on summer vacation and I came to my home. And since light was not there, we all were sitting on the terrace. Village was quiet. Sun was going down. The sky looked closer. I worked toward just one goal: to enter merchant navy through TS Chanakya. Everything I did was just about one goal. I worked hard for it. I saw my future through it. Whatever decision I took, it was coming back to just one goal: to enter merchant navy. And this whole 7 year, the goal, the merchant navy, became my identity. And eventually, one day, I got there. I cleared the exam and I got the counseling date for me. Finally, I felt that I had arrived. Next day, the counseling went well. I got the confirmed seat. I was happy. And then they said that, okay, there is only one final step: go for medical test. I was not worried. I was fit. I knew my eyesight was perfect. I cleared all those medical tests. And suddenly they asked me to go to a small dark room for color vision test. I was hearing about that test for the first time. I entered in that room and test started. Light flashed. The first one, I got it right. The last one, I got it wrong. The doctor looked at me and said, "You cannot join the merchant navy. You are club blind." That's it. 7 years ended in 1 minute. I came out of room, sat on a chair. My mind was completely blank. It felt dark, not outside, but inside. I walked out with the same counseling file. Nothing has changed on the paper. But something inside me was gone. I returned back to home, and for next 3 months I did nothing. I stayed in bed. I looked out of window. I did not know who I was without that dream. I was clueless. I was confused. I was not sad in words. I was sad in silence. And much later I understood that dream of merchant navy, which became my identity. When you lose a dream which becomes your identity, it doesn't feel like failure. It feels like you have lost yourself. Eventually, I chose engineering, not because I loved it, but because I did not know what else to do. And for next 11 month, 11 year, I kept on doing the right thing. I kept moving forward. I kept doing whatever life was bringing in front of me. Much later, I found the word for that phase of my life. I was succeeding on paper, but searching inside. And then one day, I saw an opportunity. And that opportunity, it was not big. It was not very clear. And it did not look like a dream. But something about it stayed with me. Because it involved people, real problem, lives which reminded me of my own beginning. It made me feel curious. It was not the feeling of excitement, it was the feeling of curiosity. And the opportunity was to join SBI Youth for India Fellowship. At that time, I did not think it as a turning point. But I knew that I want to explore it. For the first time, after my dream about Merchant Navy broke, I was not chasing the success. I was listening. For the fellowship year, I lived in a remote village of Uttarakhand with Chirag. The village I went, the people I met, they had very little, but they had strength. And among them were women who were running a cattle feed business. We worked together. We tried some small change. And suddenly and slowly, things started to move. Things started to get better. But the real change was not in number. It was in them, in their attitude, in their voice. They did not just become better businesswomen. They started believing in themselves. And for the first time, I felt, how does it feel doing something which matters? Not to you, but for someone else. The life in the village was not easy. It was tough. It was hard. Challenges were many. Resources were limited. Yet, I was happy and satisfied. I saw people around me, they had very little, but they had warmth, generosity, and quite sense of enough. And then I realized my old dream about Merchant Navy, it was not about big title or success, it was about dignity, security, and caring for others. Working closely with the community during the fellowship, it gave me clarity that that kind of work came very natural to me. So I decided to join the Youth for India team in 2016. Today, when I lead the fellowship, I work with young people across India, mentor fellows who are touching lives in hundreds of villages. Many of them, they come with strong resume, but silent questions and doubt. Is this enough? Is this meaningful? Helping them search for answer reminds me of my own journey. India's challenges are complex. And I learned something very clear. The change is not going to come from Savior. It is going to come from listener, from people who are willing to pause, understand the context, and walk with the communities. Meaning is not about big title or income. It comes when you start noticing where you are useful and have the courage to step in. I see this alchemy again and again. Earlier in my life, I believed that meaning will come if I achieve something big. But today, I believe something else. Meaning comes when we become useful where we are needed. So, if your dream is breaking right now, if something you worked hard for is falling apart, please do not rush to replace it. Pause. Listen. Sometimes life breaks the dream you chose so you can hear what truly calls you. And that's where meaning begins. Thank you.